What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. So as y'all know, I have been going back in and playing older racing games, and with that I stumbled upon a few of them, one of which is going to be Gravel. Now funnily enough, this game did end up coming out basically the beginning of 2018, and if you are wondering, no, I have never played this game ever. In fact, I'm gonna be real, I didn't even know this game existed, man. Honestly, I had no clue. Funny part is my cousin did end up giving me the disc for this game probably like 4 or 5 years ago, and I literally just started playing it about a week or so ago, and I gotta admit something, it's actually pretty dang good. With that being said, though, this game is obviously going to be 7+ years old now. In fact, it is going to be heading to 8 years old once it does end up hitting February again. But either way, this is one of those games I just honestly never played back then. And after playing V-Rally 4, I'm like, you know what, let me go play something like Gravel, as I did hear some good things about this one. Funny part is, though, Gravel did end up coming out 7 months before V-Rally 4 did. I gotta say something right off the bat, guys. I do actually enjoy Gravel a bit more than V-Rally 4, and this can come down to a few different things. I do really like the vehicle list in this game, and honestly, I feel like it's pretty dang impressive for what is going to be in this. I will talk more about that in the underrated video, because you know what? Gravel is honestly kind of underrated, man. With that, you're also going to have a lot of cool locations. For example, we're going to have Alaska. You have places like Iceland, which that's actually going to be a DLC. We're then going to have something like Los Angeles, Arizona, and stuff like that. So there's going to be a lot of cool locations, which honestly, I really wasn't expecting that in the game. So something a lot of people are probably going to be wondering, oh, well, Block, this is cool, but, well, how's the handling in this game, man? How does everything flow in it? Like, how do the cars feel? And you know what? This is something I really was thinking about, guys, because when I was playing V-Rally 4, we all do know that game isn't terrible. I'm not saying that game is bad or anything like that, but we all do know, like, the physics can be a tad wonky on that game at times, and that was something I was thinking about. Like, I'm like, okay, well, I'm going to try Gravel. I'm going to go into this game blind, not know anything about it, not watch any videos on it. Let me go find out how this game actually is, and to be honest, I feel like the overall physics in the game are actually pretty dang good, man. Now, we all do know there's going to be a bunch of different cars. We got Rally, we're going to have Speed Cross, which is obviously Rally Cross, or I guess you could say it's going to be a version of it. We're then going to have Trophy Trucks, Buggy, other versions of Rally Cars, so there's going to be a great variety in the game that I would say a lot of people probably can't get into. Now, one thing I do have to admit, though, guys, I do feel like if people have never played Gravel or any of these games before, like V-Rally, if you were to jump on this, I feel like people are probably going to be a bit confused in one aspect. And there's a reason why I do say that. If you are going to jump into Gravel, you're probably going to be maybe thinking about Dirt or that series of Dirt guys, and I'm going to say this, Dirt really was ahead of its time in a lot of areas, and what's funny about that is, yeah, we're going to have trophy trucks in Gravel, right? Obviously, I mean, funny thing is the Toyota truck in this game is also going to be in Forza Horizon 5. I will show you guys a clip of Forza Horizon 5 in the background, and obviously the game itself with the Toyota. Kind of funny because I was not expecting that, but it's something you probably recognize, which is pretty dope. But I'm going to say something right now that's probably going to be a tad insane. Now, I'm not really, like, dogging or going after Gravel in any way, man, but I gotta admit, it's insane to me how Dirt 2 back in the day did Rally and also Trophy Trucks. I'm specifically talking about the Trophy Truck side of it so dang well, man. Like, I don't know what they were doing back then in 2008 to 2009 with that game, bro, but really is insane how it's basically going to be 9 years older than this game, and somehow the trophy truck physics are going to be that good back then, man. Like, honestly, I really don't get it. Now, I'm not saying the physics and stuff in Gravel are bad, because obviously the name of the game is Gravel. So what's that going to mean? Well, you're pretty much going to be off-road, obviously driving through forest locations. You got tracks, and you're going to have different locations like in the mountains of Arizona or some places like that. So it is going to be different environments and different places you are racing in. And I feel like people are probably going to drive certain vehicles and notice how some might slide, or, you know, maybe cars might not grip as much. But to be honest, the cars are more grippy than I thought they were going to be. And one thing specifically I gotta admit, driving on the asphalt in this game, man, yeah, I don't know. I might have to tune my car a bit. And the reason for that, at least when I was doing a rallycross event, or if you want to call it a speed cross, tomato, tomato. But either way, though, I was on a small track somewhere with some jumps and stuff, so I'm going to go with rallycross. Either way, though, some of it was going to have, like, cement in there or asphalt, and my goodness, the way the car would slide around a bit and kind of just lose traction was a bit wonky. But in the dirt itself, though, man, I feel like the physics in this game really weren't as bad as I was initially expecting. Like, we all do know after playing, like, V-Rally 4, guys, again, that game isn't terrible, but we all can agree the cars kind of float or, like, they just feel a bit wonky at times, and I feel like people might end up getting a bit frustrated with that, which is something and probably the biggest complaint I did end up seeing in that game, which if you guys do want to check it out, I will leave a tag on the screen for that one. And with that also brought me into gravel because I'm like, you know what, maybe this game isn't as bad as that one. And I gotta admit, I really don't think it is. And in fact, I feel like, well, you know what, back then, I don't know if this game even did good, man, because I didn't really know much about it. I could probably do some research on it. But this is probably one of those racing games that most likely came out, or even a game in general, and people were like, oh, cool, anyway, and it pretty much just moved on, and nothing else really happened after it. As people were probably like, yo, this game isn't going to be that good, or it's not going to be like a AAA type of game, or it isn't going to be something like Dirt, so maybe people might not really care for it. And that's kind of an odd way to look at it, but you know what? I do understand it, as if you look at something like Dirt or some of these other games, you can definitely see how good they actually are in different areas where they could use work and stuff, obviously. But I do feel like Gravel probably did end up getting hate, or maybe people probably weren't the biggest fan of it. But I am curious, though, what do y'all think about this game? The reason why I do want to say that is I was actually talking to some people in Discord about it. Somebody was like, dude, you guys should try Gravel. It's pretty dang underrated, and you should try it out. So I'm like, oh, well, I actually have the disc I sent. He's like, you will probably enjoy it. I did end up starting to play the game more, and I'm like, you know, this game is actually pretty dope, man. Like, I am kind of enjoying it. I would say one of the biggest things I like about the game is, for one, the vehicle variety is really dope. Obviously, the game is going to have DLCs and stuff, which is honestly not a big deal, because I'd rather buy like a little DLC for like $5 to like $8 than have to buy like a season pass or something. Or let me actually rephrase that, $10 on a battle pass is worse. If we were going to have a season pass like SnowRunner for 25 bucks with all the DLCs, that's dope. But I'd rather not actually have to use like money or $10 on something like a battle pass. I'd rather buy a DLC for like $7 or $8. I feel like that's just way better because you actually get content in there, and it's not going to be like a live service thing. But either way, though, I do feel like being able to go to different locations, the environments and the vehicles and all that, and racing around in them in different environments, I really did enjoy most of the cars I did end up using. For example, like the rally raid type of class was very fun. I also really enjoyed the trophy trucks. The buggies are going to be really cool. The rallycross events were pretty fun. And I do feel like overall, guys, if people actually jumped into this game and gave it a shot, I honestly think people would probably like it, man. Now, again, I don't know how popular this game was, and it should probably tell you something if I've never even heard of it or even thought about playing it until, like, legit, like, a week and a half ago. But you know what? I'm actually impressed, man. I'm like, yo, this game came out 7 years ago, and I feel like it's pretty dang good, and people would probably enjoy it, but it's most likely one of those types of games that you might see something on and go, the physics are probably terrible, and don't get me wrong, if you were playing something like Dirt or even Forza Horizon 5 and off-roading and stuff, or Forza in general, and you were to jump on this game, it's probably going to be a tad different, but I really don't think the handling and physics are all that bad. Trophy trucks are going to grip. If you're driving an all-wheel drive truck compared to like a rear-wheel drive, same with rally cars and all that, you are most likely going to notice a difference, which is something in every single racing game. If you're using a rear, front, or even all-wheel drive vehicle, you're going to notice differences there, which is something Gravel does capture very well. And I really do love the track design and how you're racing like one point to another, and you're going like near waterfalls and like through a forest and over mountains, and it really is going to capture that stuff, I think, to a T. And most likely, I feel like people would actually enjoy it. Again, guys, let me know your thoughts on Gravel in the comments below. I am curious. Playing this game in 2025 on the PS5, it's going to run very well. And on top of that, I admit, I also think this game looks pretty dang good as well, especially for it coming out around 7 years ago. Do let me know what y'all think about Gravel in the comments below. Did you guys ever play this game? Are you planning to? If you did, what were your honest thoughts on it? Do you like it? Do you think the game is underrated? Which, stay tuned, because that is the next thing I'm going to talk about Gravel, on how I think this game was a bit underrated.